In the immortal words of Long Islander LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback. Actually, yes, please do call it a comeback because that's what it was. It is Monday, May 18th, 2026. We're on the road again. In our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and Nationals Park, not a very creative name, about to play a 4-game series versus the Washington Nationals. I am the Mets head talking all things New York Mets with a preview of game 47 versus the Nats. If you enjoy my content, I ask that you please like and subscribe to the Mets head on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I have seen the Nationals in their stadium with the traveling Dingleberries thrice, I believe. Twice at National Stadium, once with the pregame in the beer garden across the street, and we saw them once at RFK Stadium. Peralta was not on in this game. He was all right. And of course, the Yankees struck first yet again. I think it was in the third. Ben Wright hit a solo home run to put the Yankees up 1-0. We came back in the bottom of the fourth with singles by Vientos and Beatty, and then a Semien double knocked Swaggy in to tie the game. Then in the fifth, with Soto up and Ben jumped first, the Yankees wisely brought in a left-handed reliever. Soto grounded out, and Swaggy got a base hit. MJ Melendez up, and Mendoza chose to pinch it for Melendez and brought in Taylor to pinch it, and Facebook went insane. What are you doing pulling out Melendez for Taylor, of all people? I mean, I agree with pinch hitting for Melendez. Taylor is a fine choice. The only problem I have with it, it's in the fifth spot. If Melendez was batting in the bottom third of the lineup, where he really should be at this point, because his hot streak is turned ice cold, then it wouldn't be such a big deal. But because Melendez keeps putting him up in the middle of the lineup, it becomes an issue. You really shouldn't be putting someone in the middle of the lineup who you would consider pinch hitting for every game. Move Melendez down. And Taylor flew out to center field. It was a tough play, though. Then to lead off the sixth, Peralta walked the first two batters, bringing Mendoza to bring in Manaea. I heard mostly to get some left-hand hitters out of their lineup. And it did that, but it cost us some runs. McMahon bunted them over to second and third. Then he hit Goldschmidt. And Volpe got a base hit, knocking in two. Rosario got a sacrifice fly. And then a pop-up to short left field. And Bushit dropped it. Luis Castillo, anyone? Again? And another run scored, putting the Yankees up 5-1. Now, Peralta was struggling at that point and needed to be taken out of the game. And it made sense to bring in a left-hand pitcher. Manaea was our only option since Luke Raley pitched the day before. And Raley can't pitch on consecutive days. It would be great if we had Lovelady still. I'm not sure who he would be playing over on the roster. But hopefully AJ Minter comes back soon because it'd be good to have two short left-handed relievers. Peralta's final line was 5 innings pitched with 3 runs on 2 hits, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But we did answer back in the bottom of the 6th. Semien singled and Ewing walked. A.J. Ewing with his .500 on-base percentage, bringing up Sanger, who Mendoza chose Torrens to bench it for him. Now, I question this because you do have Brujan on the bench who hasn't played in a week. He is a switch hitter. He could bat left-handed against the right-hand pitcher that was currently on the mound. But Torrens delivered with a double down the right field line to bring us within 2 runs. Manaea continued to struggle. And in the top 7th, he loaded the bases with 2 outs. And he walked Volpe to give the Yankees an insurance run, making it 6-3. All was quiet on the Flushing front until the 9th, when the Yankees brought in Bednar to pitch. Benj and Bo both singled, and Soto hit a ground out to first base, but thankfully was running out of the box to prevent the double play, which made it 1st and 3rd with 1 out for Swaggy V, who struck out. At least it wasn't a double play. That would have ended the game. And then up comes Tyrone Taylor, who the internet destroyed when he was brought into the game. It's a 3-run homer down the left field line to tie the game at 6. Can you believe it? You gotta believe. I don't usually believe, but that's what they say, you know. You gotta believe. Williams was brought in for the top of the 10th. Gave up a walk to Volpe, but then got Wells to do a double play. Then in the top of the 10th, with Semien as the automatic runner at second base versus a left-hand pitcher, Ewing bunted him over to third. And the Yanks did something interesting, which I find a very good idea. They brought in one of the outfielders into the infield to have 5 infielders against Torrens. And then it was also interesting that the Yankees put no one in left field. Both fielders were to the right of center field. And Torrens got hit with the pitch, really setting up the double play. What do? Benj up at the plate against the left-hand pitcher. He hit a chopper over the pitcher's head, and Schumann, at that point playing shortstop, ran into Jazz Chisholm at second base, who was going to make the play. And Semien scored to win the game. I'm not sure it would have mattered. It may have been a close play, but the collision between Schumann and Chisholm guaranteed the run. Vientos and Semien both went 2 for 5. Semien having 2 runs and a ribby. A.J. Ewing was 1 for 1 with 3 walks, raising his on-base percentage to .500. Benj went 1 for 5 with a run and a ribby. Melendez went 0 for 2, but Taylor went 1 for 3 with 3 RBI. We've now won 5 out of the last 6 and 10 out of the last 15. We're on a roll, baby. We are now 20 and 26, 6 games under .500. Still last place in the NL East, but we're getting closer. 11 and a half games behind Atlanta. We now have the 8th worst record in the major leagues, passing Detroit and Boston. Many of the teams behind us are teams we were losing to recently. But 8th worst is also the 23rd best record in the majors. Now we face the Washington Nationals, who are 23 and 24, just one game under 500. Third place in the NL East, and only 2.5 games in front of us. Third place is in grasp. On the mound for the Nats will be Jake Irvin, the 6'6", 234-pound right-hand reliever. Irvin was originally drafted by the Nationals in the 4th round of the 2018 draft. Casey Mize went first overall that year, followed by Joey Bart and Alec Bohm. We drafted Jared Kelenic with the 6th pick. Apparently, he's with the White Sox. This is Irvin's 4th year in the majors. Up until this year, he had pitched in 90 games, is 22 and 34 with a 4.94 ERA, 379 strikeouts in 488 innings. Last year, he did not pitch that well. He did start 33 games, was 9 and 13 with a 5.70 ERA, 124 strikeouts in 180 innings. This year so far, he's been even worse. He has pitched 9 games. He's 1 and 4 with a 5.91 ERA. His strikeouts are up. He struck out 45 in 42 innings. But he has walked 20, so it's a walk every other inning. That's like a 4.5 walks per 9. We missed him the last time we faced the Nats. He has faced the Mets quite a few times. The current Mets roster is 11 for 60 against him. That's a 183 average with a 669 OPS. He has given up home runs to Beatty, Soto, and Vientos. But it seems that Brujan has the highest average against him. 2 for 5 with a double. Bichette and Soto are both batting .333 against him. But his overall numbers look good against us. My suggested Mets lineup, I would like to lead A.J. Ewing off, but with Benj batting .393 with an 842 OPS, batting leadoff this week, I would leave him there. Bat Bichette second, batting over 100 this week. That's a positive. 1 for 3 against Irvin. Soto is batting .348 this week with an over 1,000 OPS. He's also 3 for 9 against Irvin with a double, a homer, and 5 walks. I put Soto at DH. Vientos batting 4th. 260 this week, 748 OPS. He's 2 for 17 with a homer against Irvin. But he has been on an RBI a game pace. And I like him as a placeholder there. He's kind of a best right-hand hitter at this moment. Then I bat Beatty 5th, batting .348 this week. Every other hitter is hitting well this week. He is 1 for 8 with a home run and a walk against Irvin. Then I bet Semien sixth, 227 this week. Followed by AJ Ewing, who's batting 294 with a 1,000 OPS and a 500 on base percentage. Then I bet Terrenz eighth, 1 for 7 against Irvin. Not because he's doing that well, but you have to bet Terrenz somewhere. And batting ninth could be kind of anybody, but I would give Bruhan a shot at shortstop. He hasn't gotten a hit for us yet, but yet he really hasn't been given a chance. He has not had a bat at all this week, but he is 2 for 5 in the double against Irvin. I'd like to give him a shot at shortstop. If not him, then play Melendez, but batting ninth or eighth, either way, but definitely in the bottom third of the lineup. On the mound for the Mets should be Christian Scott, the 6'4", 215-pound, 26-year-old right-hand pitcher. Drafted by the Metsies in the 5th round in 2021, in which we took Kumar Rocker as our first pick, 10th overall. Jackson Merrill went 27th. Mason Miller was 97th. Hunter Goodman was 109th. He only pitched back in 2024. He pitched in 9 games. Was 0-3 with a 4.56 ERA and 39 strikeouts in 47 innings pitched. This year he's pitched in 4 games. I think pulled too early in 3 out of those 4. And it's been successful. He's brought his ERA down to 3.45. And he has 20 strikeouts in 15 innings. He does have 9 walks, which could be an issue, but I think 5 of them came in his first start. So 4 walks in the next 3 games. Scott has faced the Nationals before with a 167 average and a 700 OPS. That OPS due to the fact that Luis Garcia Jr. did hit a home run off of him for 3 RBIs. James Wood also had a hit. But Abrams, Ruiz, and Jacob Young combined for an 0 for 8 against him. The Nats have released their lineup, and James Wood and Luis Garcia are batting 1 and 2. Brady House third and playing third. C.J. Abrams fourth. Dalen Lyle. Jacob Young in center field. Jose Tana at DH. Corbett Vivas at second base. And Drew Milas at catcher. 6 left-hand hitters and a switch hitter. Interesting. The Mets have released their lineup. Carson Benz leading off. Bo Bichette second. Juan Soto batting third at DH. This looks like my lineup, so I'm confident. Brett Beatty batting 5th. Semien 6th. Ewing 7th. Then they decided to play Taylor instead of Bruhan. I can see why Taylor did get the big hit last night, but you still kind of want to give Bruhan some kind of a chance. They seem to not want to use him at all. And Luis Torrens batting 9th. All right, let's go, Mets go. Swat these Nats. Let's make it 6 out of 7. Till next time, I'm one gone.